talk a bit more about this issue of Ghanaians wanting to leave these shores, because illegal migration, youth unemployment and regional security will dominate Thursday's Africa and European Union summit in the Ivorian capital, Abidjan. The continent's leaders will be joined by presidents of France, Italy and other European nations to map out strategies on how to address the root causes of illegal migration and other issues of concern to African youth. President Akufo-Addo, at a joint news conference with the visiting Italian Prime Minister ahead of the summit, says finding jobs for the millions of the continent's youth is one sure way to address the migrant crisis responsible for the deaths of thousands of Africans as they embark on perilous journeys to seek greener pastures. Elton Brobe's report.
Let us take us to our various countries. Can I speak?
Dealing with the migrant crisis has become urgently important, considering recent reports about how some migrants are being sold into slavery in Libya. Young people from the continent, especially West Africa in pursuit of greener pastures, have fallen victim to human trafficking rings or have had to pay the ultimate price with their lives, drowning in the Mediterranean Sea. At a joint news conference with the visiting Italian Prime Minister, President Akufo-Addo said maintaining regional security is key to Africa's quest to attract foreign direct investment.
The issue of migration is, for us, really it's about ourselves. I think that what we've seen from history is that migrations are occurring when places are not working, when countries' economies are weak, when people can't find employment and find opportunity and hope in their own country. But witnesses 19th century Irish migration into America and Italian. I don't think it's happening today because Italy is working, Ireland is working. So our focus in terms of the solution to migration is what we can do to create a society and a nation of opportunities for the young people of Ghana. I think that if Ghanaian youth feel that they have a future here, that they can express themselves and find fulfillment of their aspirations in Ghana. The trekking through the Sahara and the hazard, the Mediterranean seas and the activities around Lampedusa, those things would not occur.
The Italian Prime Minister, Paolo Gentiloni, who spoke through an interpreter, said his country is making available $25 million to support small businesses in Ghana in a bid to minimize the flow of migrants.
Siamo molto interessati allo sviluppo di un tessuto di piccole e medie imprese in diversi settori dell'economia del Ghana.
We are very interested in developing the small medium companies in the Ghanaian economy.
Su questo mi fa piacere di annunciare che l'Italia ha deciso di concedere una linea di credito di 25 milioni dedicata esattamente allo sviluppo di macchinari in questi settori.
It is my pleasure to also say that Italy has decided to give out 25 million dedicated to these small and medium enterprises for buying their machineries.
Come il Presidente Addo ha ricordato, siamo alla vigilia del vertice tra Unione Europea e Unione Africana.
As the President rightly said, we are going to the summit, the AU-EU summit.
Al centro di questo vertice sarà il futuro dei giovani.
And at this summit, the future of the youth would be discussed.
The migration situation has become a global crisis, with many calling for an end to the phenomenon. JoyNews is continuing to seek answers from government and key stakeholders on how to deal with this menace.
Now, we'll stay a bit more with issues dealing with migration, because over 160 Ghanaians detained in Libya are expected back home after government facilitated their release from the Libyan authorities. A fact-finding mission by the Ghana Embassy in Malta to ascertain the veracity of claims some Ghanaian migrants have been offered for sale in the slave market turned out to be untrue, according to the Foreign Ministry. Now, the fact-finding mission was triggered by reports in the media which suggested that some Ghanaians were among some illegal migrants being sold as slaves to work on farmlands. But a statement issued by the Foreign Ministry said 168 Ghanaians found in detention camps for immigration were, in the immigration detention camps for immigration violations. Now, you have the statements there on your screen. And you can see in the second paragraph, it says it emerged that the 168 Ghanaian detainees who identified were not part of the slave trade as alleged, but rather been arrested on illegal immigration charges and were also being held in detention camps. It said in view of the discovery, these undocumented Ghanaians were immediately issued with the necessary travel documents to facilitate their repatriation to Ghana on a chartered flight with support from the International Organization for Migration, IOM. It may be put on record.